Welcome to this introduction of the Social Emotional Growth portion of the Kansans Star Recognition Program. My name is Kerry Haag, and I'm one of the Assistant Directors here at KSDE on the Special Education Title Services team. Part of my role includes leading our agency's work to advance the State Board of Education's goal for social emotional growth. The Kansans Star Recognition Program recognizes success in each of the outcomes that Kansas told us they value most. This is our opportunity to celebrate the incredible work that's happening in systems all across our great state. Star recognition supports systems in their accreditation process and offers a great opportunity to recognize when exceptional progress is being made towards those state board outcomes. Today, I'm here to share with you how public school districts and accredited private school systems can achieve recognition in the area of social emotional growth. So we know that if we want to achieve our vision of leading the world in the success of each student, these students will need the social emotional character competencies that promote learning and success in life. That is our board's goal. So to move this vision forward, Kansas systems are required to measure the acquisition of those competencies locally. We know the evidence base and the research shows to do this, it takes a rigorous and sustained and systemic commitment at multiple levels. It also requires a holistic view of social emotional competency development that occurs from way before kindergarten, through early infancy, through preschool, through grade 12. And we also know that if we look at an analysis of our different sources of types of data, and that when teams come together around this data, we're able to identify important conditions and factors. And when teams are able to understand what factors and conditions interact with each other, then you can identify the catalysts that are really driving improvement in your unique school community. Oh, just a quick note, I'll be using the word systems today, and that refers to public school districts and accredited private school systems, both of which are eligible for this recognition. Social emotional growth is a qualitative area in the STAR recognition program, which means that systems must apply annually to be considered. To begin the qualitative application process, systems conduct a local self-assessment, and this system systematically compares their current practices within their districts with those that are listed on the Kansas Social Emotional Growth Rubric. There are two important things to consider as you're beginning this work. First of all, you or someone within your district may have already completed a comprehensive needs assessment, either as part of your accreditation process or some other improvement process that includes this type of district level social emotional growth data. So that data could be readily available. And if not, then as you go through this process, definitely use the data from this process for Kansas Education Systems accreditation and share it and tap into that process as well to support it. So the first thing you'll see on each qualitative rubric is a qualifiers section. So a system must be in compliance with all state and federal requirements in a particular area to be eligible for recognition, thus qualifying them. In addition, a system must also meet the qualifiers listed at the beginning of the rubric as well. Remember it's always good to remember that star recognition, the purpose overall, is to recognize systems that go above and beyond basic expectations and doing things that you'd want to see modeled across the state. So for social emotional, we have a basic requirement to be in compliance with our state and federal social emotional growth related laws and regulations. And as a district is in compliance with that, then they look at going through the application and as a result of the self-assessment need to earn a minimum of at least 6 points on the rubric to be eligible for submission. The social emotional growth rubric consists of 4 research-based elements. Each is criterion-based, and a district performance is rated as either planning, implementing, transitioning, or modeling. Teams are going to want to unpack those elements in order to arrive at a decision that best reflects the district's actual performance. As your team is completing the rubric, it'll be important to organize, track, and record what artifacts led your team to reach that conclusion. Let's talk more about the role of artifacts now. Artifacts provide evidence that systems should earn the points associated with each item on the rubric. These artifacts might take the form of a report or an outcomes analysis. We've put together a list of possible sources that teams can use as a starting point. Or teams could ask themselves, if you're looking at those artifacts, would you be able to verify that your system met all the criteria contained in that element based upon the performance level you gave yourself? There will be external reviewers, and they'll determine whether an applicant will receive the points assigned to them by the local team. Also, this is a really good time to be selective. One quality artifact with clear explanation is much stronger than a large number of files and attachments. So this is a good time to put yourself in the shoes of a reviewer and think about everything you would have to sort through. Also, as you're developing your application and your artifact documents, please do not include hyperlinks because it is not supported by the system and the reviewers will not be able to see them. So now to talk about the final review and validation. As districts apply for the star recognition, they use an authenticated application that's located within KSDE's website. It requires an authorized district representative to register and gain access to the star recognition application. After that is done, the results of your district's completed self-assessment that your team did can be entered. Also, within that site, there's a very helpful user manual that has step-by-step instructions and screenshots to walk through the process of submitting the application. After the applications are all received and the due date is passed, a team of Kansas State Department of Education reviewers will go through those, and they'll look at both the artifacts submitted and other data submitted by the district. And the review team will award applicants with the points for each sub-element that's based upon the results of their ratings collectively. Those teams may either agree with the level of performance submitted in the district's application, or they may adjust the ratings based upon the artifacts and district data that they found. And those ratings could either be higher or lower. But they will each application will have comments and feedback provided for the teams within the application. So one big takeaway from our first year doing this is that we recommend teams to be very thoughtful about the artifacts that support your self-assessment ratings. Data really only tells part of your story, so including a narrative along with that data artifacts can be really important. It helps you convey the story and in a way that you want reviewers to know, how you want the reviewer to see it, and also provides a context for the data. Additionally, it's really important to make sure that what you submit does not include information that's personally identifiable or confidential. To do this, submit the results when you submit your application, redact the documents, and as data is aggregated up to a large level, then there shouldn't be issues with having individual names. Also, there are lots of connections between the KSDE system yearly update process and the process that you go through as you develop your star recognition application. So be sure to tap into those as sources to help inform this work. We want the star recognition process to be able to inform the overall progress of a district and be able to celebrate that, as well as have information and data for feedback for how to make it better. And one of those ways that we found is that applications that were completed by district teams really tended to be stronger than those that were completed by an individual. And that this recognition is to be focused on how systematically and effectively can a district measure social emotional growth. So this STAR system for social emotional is about how districts measure the effectiveness and do that across pre-K through 12. And how does a district or system know whether students are developing the social emotional character competencies that promote learning and success in life? So for additional information, you can go to the Kansas CanVision website, and there's a video training series there. There's a link on your screen there. And you can also contact any of us here at KSDE. So feel free to contact my office, Kerry, Haag, or contact Myron Melton. We look forward to reviewing your application. Don't hesitate to call us with questions. Take care. Have a great day.